Well, the government of Canada has announced further changes to the temporary foreign worker program. It comes in an effort to address the current ag labor shortages. Well, host of Real Ag Radio, Sean Haney, joins us now with the latest insight. And Sean, as always, thanks for your time here today. So what were the changes they announced?
Hey, Jenna, great to be with you here this morning. So there's a number of changes in this announcement that was made by the Minister of Employment, Workforce Development, and Disability Inclusion, Carla Quattro. The minister said, as needs of the Canadian workforce change, we are adjusting the temporary foreign worker program to meet them. Our workforce solutions roadmap builds on progress so far to renew, modernize, and improve this program for employers and workers alike. So some of the changes are quite significant. So they've lifted the cap as it applies to some of the TFWs that work in certain portions of the food sector, meatpacking being one of them. And so we're going to have today on the show Marie-France McKinnon from the Canadian Meat Council to talk about how impactful this lifting of the cap is going to be. There's also, for the seasonal side of TFWs, they've increased the duration of their stay from 180 to 270 days, which is also going to have a major impact. For every TFW, you have to fill out a labor market impact assessment. That is now going to be valid for 18 months. Previously, they were only valid for 6 months. So that's a big bureaucratic lift as well. One of the things that the industry, the food sector, and everybody that is using TFWs to fill some of their worker requirements is looking for less bureaucracy and greater paths to citizenship for TFWs, which would be deemed a little bit more of a permanent solution.
Now, how critical is the temporary foreign worker program to the ag sector?
Very critical. So if you look at things like the mushroom industry, fruit and vegetable, other horticulture sectors, obviously meatpacking being another one, it's very, very important. And it's hard, it's difficult to try to convince Canadians to work in the food manufacturing sector. And so TFWs really, really play a huge value. And if you talk to different farms across the country, and they'll tell you as well that are using the TFW program that they get the same people coming back every year. They're very much a long-term solution. If you look across the entire worker sector in Canada, because some people will say, well, we're taking away jobs for Canadians. Well, in 2020, according to government data that was in the release yesterday, temporary foreign workers only make up about 0.4% of the Canadian workforce. So we're not talking about a huge amount of people, but we are talking about critical people, especially if we're thinking about the food sector.
All right. Well, Sean, also, how is the industry reacting so far to the changes?
Very, very positively. I've seen a number of releases here in the last 24 hours, people speaking very, very positively with the collaborative work that has happened here between industry and as well the government. There was a coalition that the Canadian Meat Council was a part of that includes other industry associations like Bakeries Canada, the food and vegetable growers, and really trying to push forward a solution. So the government knows there's a problem, but really trying to push forward on, hey, here's some possible solutions. So groups like Food and Beverage Canada, Food and Beverage Ontario, Fisheries Council of Canada, BC Food and Beverage, to just name a few, very, very pleased by yesterday's announcement.
All right. Well, Sean, as always, thank you very much for your insight. Host of Real Ag Radio, Sean Haney, on the phone with us today. You can go online to RealAgriculture.com for more information. You can also catch Sean on his show, Real Ag Radio. That airs at 4:30 Eastern each weekday afternoon on Rural Radio 147 on Sirius XM. Of course, we'll chat with him here on the Market Day Report again tomorrow.